Hey, what's up? I'm Sabrina Black with PacificSource. Today, in the spirit of the holiday season and expressing gratitude for the things we have, I'm going to share 6 tips to help you reduce food waste. Then, I'm making great use of leftover holiday turkey with some leftover turkey enchiladas. Let's kick things off with 6 tips to help you reduce food waste. 1. Get creative with leftovers. Leftovers are great, but you might not want to eat the same meal over and over until the leftovers are gone. Get creative and try making new meals out of leftovers, like we're doing with today's turkey enchiladas. 2. Practice first in, first out. To ensure that you use your food before it spoils or goes bad, organize food in your fridge and pantry so that the older items are closer to the front for easy access. 3. Don't buy more than you need. Sometimes buying in bulk is cost effective, but only if you eat as much as you buy. Same thing with food items that are on sale. The cost savings is great as long as it doesn't end up collecting dust in your pantry. 4. Set up a compost bin. Kitchen scraps like fruit and veggie peels, coffee grounds, eggshells, and other food items can make for great additions to a compost bin, which can then be used to fertilize your garden. Just be sure not to include any meat or dairy items in your compost bin. 5. Store foods and leftovers properly. Do you ever end up with food buried at the back of your freezer and then when you find it, it's freezer burnt? Or maybe you leave a bag of chips or crackers open only to have them go stale too soon? Storing foods and leftovers properly can help you prolong the shelf life of those foods, giving you more time to eat them before they go bad. 6. Donate to food banks. If you have food hanging out in your cupboards that you're just not going to eat, or you're getting ready to go on a long vacation and don't want food to spoil, consider donating it to food banks. Not everyone has the same access to food, and donating food that would otherwise go to waste can be a game changer for others in need. Now, let's get into today's recipe. I'm so excited for this one. I'm making leftover turkey enchiladas. For this recipe, you'll need 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 green pepper, diced, half an onion, diced, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 8 6-inch tortillas, either corn or flour, 2 cups of leftover turkey, 15 ounces of enchilada sauce, divided, 2 cups of shredded Monterey Jack cheese, divided, salt and pepper. Per usual, the first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven. We're going to go for 400 degrees today. Next, you're going to spray a 9 by 13 inch baking pan with non-stick cooking spray. Do this from the beginning before you forget. I have to say that because I always forget, and it makes a difference. And then we can just set that aside. All right, now in a pan, we're going to heat some olive oil over medium heat. Give that just a couple of minutes to warm up. Once the olive oil has warmed up a little bit, it's time to start cooking. So I'm going to start by putting in my peppers and onion. And I'm going to saute these until they're tender and the onions are translucent. All right, so now we're going to stir in 1 teaspoon of our minced garlic. That is a generous teaspoon. There we go. I'm going to stir these together for about a minute and then add the leftover turkey. All right, now in goes the turkey. Now that we've added the turkey, we are going to add our salt and pepper to taste. I don't need to do too much here because I have that already seasoned with my turkey, but it's nice to add a little bit more to get it all mixed together. And really at this point you only need to stir until it's well mixed. It doesn't all have to come up to temperature because we're going to be putting it in the oven anyway, and it'll get nice and hot that way. Before we assemble our enchiladas, we're going to take a half cup of our enchilada sauce and we're going to coat the bottom of our baking pan. Just spread it evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to coat the bottom. So now I'm going to clear some space so that I can start assembling my enchiladas. All right, let's get started. So one at a time, we're just going to do this assembly line style. I've got a 1/4 cup measuring cup here. I'm just going to scoop some of my mixture into it. You don't have to be that exact. This just kind of helps to make sure that we have consistency between all of our enchiladas. All right, and I like to put my filler closer to the front so that it makes it a little bit easier when it's time to roll. All right, do a generous spoonful of enchilada sauce and a little sprinkle of cheese. And then I'm going to fold by bringing in the sides, up and over, tucking in at the top and rolling. Now, if you don't want to go to the effort of folding in the sides, it's all going to taste the same. Leave the sides open and just roll it so that it all stays together. And then you're going to put it seam side down in your pan. And then you just repeat for all 8 of your enchiladas. One of the things that I really remember the most about Thanksgiving, especially as a kid, is that my mom would get up really early to start the turkey. I think that might just be a mom thing. But as my sisters and I got older, she would get us up a little early with her, and she would make us prep she wouldn't make us. She would encourage us to help prep Thanksgiving dinner, including prep the turkey before it went in the oven. And there is photo evidence of the faces we made, and we were not impressed. But they're memories that I'm not going to forget. Now that we have all of our enchiladas prepped, we have to put all the topping on it. With the enchilada sauce and the cheese, you can go heavy or light-handed with it. I'm going to go heavy-handed with it. Now that we have it all covered and ready to go, we're going to put foil on it and pop it in the oven for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we're going to take it out, take the foil off, and put it back in the oven for about another 5 minutes to really brown up the cheese on top. All right, so now it's time to see if they taste as good as they look. It's very hot, so we're gonna do this as carefully as we can here. That is delicious. Almost better this time around than when the turkey was originally served. For now, let's go ahead and wrap things up with a quick recap of my 6 tips to help you reduce food waste. 1, get creative with leftovers. 2, practice first in, first out. 3, don't buy more than you need. 4. Set up a compost bin. 5. Store foods and leftovers properly. And 6. Donate to food banks. I hope you enjoy these leftover turkey enchiladas. On behalf of PacificSource, thanks for joining me in the kitchen today, and be well.